Well, hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm super excited because I am going to be braising these beautiful short ribs. They aren't short. Usually they would be cut in half again, but I got these at Costco for $4.49 a pound, so about 4.5 pounds. Nice meaty short ribs and or beef ribs, delicious. We're going to braise some short ribs, and I've got all my partners in crime here: carrots, celery, onion, thyme, fresh thyme, and mushrooms. And we're going to do a slow and steady braise in the oven. But the first thing I need to do is get these roasted, because you want to layer those flavors. So I'm going to roast these. So come on in and I'll show you how. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to take some delicious olive oil. I got this on or at Costco as well. It's wonderful. Anyway, I bought 2 different olive oils, but I want to try this. So I'm literally going to just give everybody a little bit of a bath, right? And then I'm going to get in there with my hands for a moment and get that all wiped down with the olive oil. And doing this just changes the flavor because you're adding that roasted flavor. You're not gonna be cooking these. I've got my oven preheated to 425. I'm just gonna roast these, and now I can put these on my baking tray. And look how nice that is. Those are beautiful. And the leftovers, because this is way more than we'll consume, the leftover, after it's all coming off the bone, that sticky, just scrumptious meat, I'm going to turn it into a stew, beef stew. So whenever you start with short ribs or beef like this with all that connective tissue, you just get that super sticky, yummy, beefy flavor. So let me wash my hands and I'll be right back. In my humble opinion, all that is necessary for this step, and for beef really, is salt and pepper. And Costco has such good beef. We our quarter of a beef that we got this year did not have short ribs. So when I saw these, and I mean my other grocery stores here, they want $7, $8 a pound for pretty, sorry, not very good looking short ribs. So salt and pepper. And now I'm going to turn these. I'm going to try to keep my hands cleaner. I'm going to turn them, maybe. And you could brown these in your pan, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess on the stove. And right now, I have a steam canner on the stove and a steam juicer, and I'm actually doing another video for you, canning cranberry juice. So I don't have room on the stove anyway, but I would prefer not to have that mess, and I like the roasted flavor better this way. And then we'll turn the oven down and it will slow roast in the oven. So that's got a good little coat of olive oil too. Salt. This is kosher salt, and I like kosher salt, but yeah. Anyway, there's that. Oh, I'm super excited. This is going to be such a delicious dinner. We're divided on potatoes or egg noodles, and my husband wants this on egg noodles, and I kind of want it on garlic mashed potatoes. So I'm making both, but I'm just doing a small portion. I did 2 potatoes. I've got 2 potatoes cut up. So this is going in that 425 degree oven when it's got a good sear on it, and I've turned them, and we'll save all the pan juices right here in this pan. Then we're going to be ready to get the rest of it together. So I do want to saute my onion, my celery, my carrots, and my mushrooms a little bit, so they're ready when I nestle these in. All right, the short ribs are out of the oven, and I am ready to saute. So this is a pan that I got at Costco, and you can braisen this in the oven up to 350 degrees, nothing higher. I'm going to be braising at 300, so I'm going to go ahead with the olive oil, get a good drizzle of olive oil down in the pan. This is nonstick, but we've got all these veggies, tons of mushrooms. There's about a pound of mushrooms, maybe a pound and a half. 10 to 12 cloves of garlic is totally fine. And I've got 4 big stalks of celery, 1 large onion, and a couple of carrots. These are all going into this pan to saute. And the garlic, it sounds like a lot of garlic, but it's literally going to perfume and become sweeter and sweeter. So over to the stove we go, and I'll get these started. I've got some fresh thyme and some rosemary that's going to go in here too. Once we get these veggies sauteed a little bit, and I can find a corkscrew or something to open our little bottle of wine. I've got some Bordeaux that I'm going to be using and some beef stock. So let's do this. Okay, so I've got my oven here, or my stovetop turned on. It's different cooking on electric. I'm not used to it. Salt, a generous amount of salt, and to get these to start sweating. I did put a little bit of pepper, but cracked black pepper and plenty of it. And I'm so excited for this. And this is going to slow roast for 2 to 2.5 hours in the oven. I'm going to grab some stuff and out of my my little pantry here, and we'll get going. So this yeah, we're not going to like cook these, but we're going to get them softened up a little bit, and then that way it's going in the oven hot, and it can start its braising process. And I don't know if that's enough mushrooms for me, but I'm going to do stew with some of this, so I'm saving the rest of that package of mushrooms for stew. Because beef stew made with short ribs is divine. So let me finish sauteing these vegetables, and we'll nestle the ribs down in there and pour over our broth and our wine and everything else. So these are sauteing really nicely. They're letting off their own juices, but I want a clear spot in the pan. This pan is so nice for at least a healthy couple tablespoons of tomato paste, because it really does enrich a beefy, I don't know what it does, but if you get this in here, it's not tomatoey, but it really does add something to the whole thing. So I like to clear off a spot and get some in there. We'll put this in the refrigerator. And I have to tell you, so we don't have a wine opener here, and I said, I need this bottle opened. How are we going to open it? And I knew he would come up with something. My husband came up with screwed this hook down and pulled it right out. So if you're ever without one and you have a hook to hang a bicycle, you're probably good to go. So you want to get that toasting a little bit as much as possible. Then get your veggies all in there. And I feel like we're ready to, because the onions are getting pretty translucent. I know I'm going to want more mushrooms. Oh my gosh. Oh well. It is what it is. We're going to have all this veg. Is going to make such a great sauce. So you want some Worcestershire sauce in here. That's at your own discretion. I give it a good dousing. This is a hearty meal. There's a lot of meat. And we're going to throw some bay leaves in here. Look at the size of that one. I even broke the end off. We're going to put a few bay leaves because they're dry You want that aromatic goodness, okay, to get through there. And now I've got my little mini bottle of Bordeaux and Bordeaux wine, and I'm using the whole bottle because red wine and beef go excellent together. And then I thought I had beef stock, but no, I have chicken stock. So we're going to add that, and it's okay because I've got other things that are going to make this just as beefy. Those ribs are so meaty and flavorful with the bones and everything. And I've got some kitchen bouquet here, which will also add a depth of flavor. Just about a teaspoon maybe of that to start with. And it adds that rich flavor. Now, let's get this. Isn't this nice? This came with this pan. It's made for a right-handed person, though. I'm protesting, just saying. But that's okay. So now we can nestle our ribs in and get them all smothery in their pan. The oven is down to 300 degrees, so we're good there. And oh my gosh, look at that. And braising, you don't want it buried in broth like it's a soup. You want it to slow cook in that aromatics and the broth, but not swimming in it, if that makes sense. So, and then these are just going to be fall off the bone when it's done. Oh my gosh, look at that. That fatty cap on there got all toasty. Look at the meat on that thing. That's a short rib. And then any of your juices, pan juices from that going in the oven goes right in there. Sorry for my arm. That adds that beefy flavor. And okay, let's see. I gotta resituate some nestling going on here. Let's get some nestling happening. There we go. I think we're good. And so you want the liquid to come about halfway up your meat. And these vegetables will continue to let off their own juices and just add to all of this. Now we need to get our thyme in here and rosemary. And I'm super excited about this. So this is fresh rosemary from the house. And oh, look at that. Beautiful. I'm so excited. And this pan is beautiful. It's a 5.5 quart pan, non-stick. I cooked in it last night, washed it up, cooked in it. It came with the, I'll leave this root, it's attached there. We're going to leave that just like that. And some of these stems, the leaves will fall off. Thyme and beef go absolutely wonderful together. So I'm using a big bunch of thyme. Okay, so we are good to go. Woo! That looks beautiful. Put the lid on, and in the 300 degree oven, it's going to go for the next 2 hours. I will check it at 2 hours, and we'll see. Your meat should be just that sticky, scrumptious, sticky, fall off the bone, tender. It's going to be divine. All right. Who's made this in the last 6 months? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear all the comments. Okay, so the braising is done. It is ready to plate up. And one of us wants potatoes. One of us wants noodles. It's okay. I'm going to plate this up And look at this. Okay, so the short ribs are out of the oven, and I'm dishing up a plate. The whole house smells so good. I'm not even joking. Look at that. It's all cooked down and braised and delicious. So we're going to grab some out and try to figure out how we can get this out of there without any issues. So all the stems and stuff, I've got my trash right there. The stems can come out of there, and bay leaves and all that, but let's put that aside and get a short rib. And these aren't really short, they're pretty long, but look how much they did shrink up. And when you stick your fork in it, that meat is so tender. And we'll get some vegetables, mushrooms, carrots. Pull your stems from your thyme and all that out of there. And yum. Celery and the sauce that creates. Okay, so there's that. And then a little bit of the broth that's on there that's very, very concentrated. So you don't need a lot. And there we go. And I'm going to give you a taste test. So let's get down. Okay, so I'm just going to, even though this probably cools some more, let's get a little bite of the pasta with some of the mushroom and celery and just with that natural juices and see what happened. Oh my gosh. That is divine. And then cutting into this, literally it's fallen off the bone, but it's just that shreddable, look, it just pulls apart. That is what we're talking about. Short ribs and noodles. Okay. I'm just going to take a bite of that meat and let you know. Unbelievable. That is so good. All right, so I hope you try this. I hope that if you get a hold of some really beautiful short ribs like that, you'll try this. And the rest of this is going to make a beautiful beef stew. So today I made these short ribs for you, and I'm just going to tell you they are absolutely delicious. I hope you try this. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you hit the thumbs up.